Hello, welcome back to my first race report of 2024. And today I'm going to start with something a little bit different. And I'm going to talk about the Fat Viking event over in Norway in Yellow, I think is the way it's pronounced. So I've been looking at fat bikes races, for a number of years. Always kept an eye on the Iditarod Invitational, and there's the Fat Viking over in Norway, and there's also been the Ravomni up in Finland, I think, which has now ended. But they're very small underground races. It's very niche, but it's kind of like a niche of the ultra cycling world. So I thought I'd start by taking a look at it, as much as reason just to get into it a bit, because it's something I might like to try at some point. So yeah, this is the Fat Viking race. Now it's basically done by volunteers. It's a very small event. There's not very many people doing it. And as you can see, it's a snow race, so you have to do it on a fat bike, and there's mandatory kit you need to take with you. So yeah, check out the Fat Viking website for all the details, but you can dig into it and you can see there's a compulsory kind of equipment list. You need to be able to have a jacket to go down to -30, sort of stationary. So if you have an issue, you need to be able to get all your kit on and keep warm. And I think that's standard in most of these kind of winter races. So let's have a little look at the race and see what happens. So this was the tracking page. It's not super clear, so I've basically put the route into ride with GPS, and you can see it's a little bit clearer now. It's quite a good. I think it's billed as a fat biking event, sort of get you into as like an introduction into the world of winter ultras. Obviously, the big ones in Alaska, the Iditarod Bike Invitational, the 350 and the 1000. You're going through very remote areas. It's very hard to get rescued if you get into trouble. You're getting extreme temperatures, and you can get stuck for days and days on end if the snow falls. So this is basically, as you can see, designed around. It's kind of like a series of loops. So you can do, I think it's a 50k. 100k or 150k, and I know that sounds very short for an ultra race. However, just bear in mind you're probably doing, 5 miles in an hour is pretty good going. And if the conditions turn bad, as they did in this event, then it can take a lot longer. So if we just roll across the route here, you can see it starts in yellow, and there's a series of climbs, and you're always intersecting these roads. So if you do need to scratch for any reason or get to trouble, then you can get out relatively easily. Having said that, it is still winter in Norway in the mountains, so I'm not saying it's easy by any means. So yeah, start out and basically head out to the checkpoint. Now there's a checkpoint. I think it's here where you see it meets. Let's go to the race tracker. It shows you. Oh no, a bit further south. In the town of Dagli. I'm not very good at my pronunciations at the best time, so Norwegian pronunciations are a new one for me, so apologies if I'm getting it wrong. So you can see that the route loops through this town a couple of times, does the out and back along the river, and then back through town. So you can you go through the same checkpoint each time, and I believe you can get like a light meal there. And if you needed to scratch for whatever reason, you can head back down the highway to the start. So it's based mainly on sort of snowmobile, cross-country ski trails. So they're relatively well established, but again, winter conditions, they can really play havoc. So let's have a little look at the race tracker. It's not the clearest, if I'm totally honest, but we can see once we spread it out a little bit that there was a familiar name that you might be familiar with, Justinus Levika. He's been up there in like Silk Road, second in Tour Divide last year. He's been close at the Atlas Mountain Race a couple of times, and yeah, he lives in Norway, so he's been doing these fat bike events for a while. So he trains in the winter. There he is in his resplendent in his kit, and he took an early lead into the checkpoint for the first time there. So yeah, this race starts early in the morning, and basically it's winter, so there's not much in the way of daylight. But the theory is you can do it within 24 hours, and I think there might be like a 30-hour cutoff in total. So you're not encouraged to camp out. It's just like a one-hit kind of event. So yeah, Justinus took the lead fairly early, And to be honest, it was a little bit of a procession. So David Uribe, number 39, I think he's quite an experienced guy. You can see basically on Justinus's heels. So Justinus is 82k there. David's at 84, so he's a couple of k's back most of the time. But a couple of k in the conditions that were out there is quite a lot. So yeah, loop around all the loops there. And then onto the final stretch down here. You can see a few other riders have kind of got muddled up where they've maybe not done one of the other loops. So yeah, like I say, it's all a little bit confusing on the race tracker. But long story short, we'll go to the race results. So Justinus, he won the race. Again, very, very confusing. That's kind of why I wanted to do a video, because there's not much kind of attention given to this event. But it's not easiest to find that much information. So first was Justinus, so he finished at 7:12. David finished 7:43, so about half an hour or so after. And then a couple of hours after that, our third place finisher, Nina Gasler, she was also the first female, and really mixing it up there with the men, which is really great to see. So that was the top three, and there wasn't an awful lot of finishes, but the reason for that, conditions were pretty awful by the sounds of it. So there was a bit of a snowstorm, and as you can see, there was probably some 20-25k of just walking through the snow, up high on the passes, fresh snow, soft snow. You can see post hole in here, like your legs just go down to your knee, and your bike stays up because of the fat tires. The bike floats, and you just sink. Which makes it extremely hard work. So there's Justinus there with his winner's hatchet. That's the prize for winning. So looks very pleased about it. But yeah, for everyone else, I think it was a bit of a war of attrition, just getting around. So this is what it looks like when it's all good. I mean, there's a bit of powder on there, but at least you can ride, and the bike floats across the snow quite nicely. I don't know whether that's dawn or dusk. They probably look very, very similar, but that's the kind of terrain you're going across on these nice sort of mountains in Norway. However, when it goes wrong, this is what you're doing. You're just off your bike, pushing, feet sinking into the snow. If you do a mile in an hour, you're doing quite well. So it's just a total grovel, and that's why you have to take lots of food. That's why you have to take your -30 jacket and equipment. And just imagine doing this in Alaska on the ibbett bike invitational. So yeah, that is the Fat Viking race. Just thought I'd put it out there, shine a bit of light on it. If you're kind of interested in that, just let me know in the comments. Maybe I'll try and do a little bit on the ibbett bike. I don't know an awful lot about it, but again, it's something I'm interested in, so I'm quite happy to sort of dig in and find out about it. And yeah, maybe you'll see me riding on the snow at some point. But yeah, first up for me this year is the complete opposite, racing around the desert in Morocco for the Atlas Mountain Race. So keep an eye out for loads of videos around the Atlas Mountain Race. I'll have a few more race reports in the next few days, and Atlas Mountain Race preview. So yeah, just get subscribed, and catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.